It's the effort that counts, or at least that's what people say. Because honestly, I don't even know if that's true. Like, yeah, I'm no better than the other million people doing this commentary shit over top of a video game right now, but it's the effort that counts. We see so many other creators try this, and we think, why not? There's already thousands of channels exactly like mine doing just this, probably 10 times better. Probably hundreds of thousands of people, if not millions, talking into their microphones just like me. And, thousands of people trying to build an audience, thousands of people hoping somebody listens. And that's just it. Why not make that channel? Why not make that first video? Why not express yourself creatively? Why not try that thing you've been thinking about for months or even years? I think a lot of people spend their lives standing at the edge of what they want. And don't get me wrong, I've fallen victim to this about a million times too. We get stuck thinking about starting, thinking about creating, thinking about expressing ourselves, and never actually doing it. Not because we can't or because we're incapable, but because it's genuinely difficult to take that first step. And trust me, I've been there. More times than more times than you really want to know. Starting something is weird, especially when nobody asked for it. Nobody asked me to start this channel. Nobody's sitting there waiting for me to share my opinions and feelings or whatever. And, nobody was refreshing YouTube thinking, man, I hope this random fucking loser uploads commentary over some gameplay today. But I wanted to do it anyway. That's the whole point, because I think it's important. Because personally, I don't believe creating should always be about the results. I think somewhere along the way, people became obsessed with outcomes. Views, subscribers, money, fame, influence, you get the idea. And look, I'm not going to pretend I'm above any of that. Money is great, and having a successful channel sounds awesome, don't get me wrong. But if that's the only reason you're creating something, I think you're in trouble, because the reward is never guaranteed. Think of the famous, I guess, statement, quote, whatever you want to call it, where people say, the journey is more important than the destination, or, something along those lines. It's true. I think when it comes to creative shit like this, it's pretty similar. But like I said, the reward is never guaranteed. You could upload for months, even years, and get nowhere. Trust me, I have tried. So if the reward is the only thing keeping you going, what happens when it doesn't show up? It's just disappointment, right? Because, for me, the reward is getting to do this at all. I have a computer that runs games and records smoothly, although I can't lie. Slight side note, my footage looks pretty garbage despite the fact I record in what I assume to be relatively high settings. So I apologize for that. YouTube just compresses the hell out of it, but that's besides the point. I am privileged enough to just be able to sit here under a safe roof and talk and puke out my own thoughts somewhere other than inside my hollow skull. For me personally, I feel like it's a good creative outlet because, sometimes I feel misunderstood. Not on some corny shit though, but it makes sense because I'm genuinely a weirdo. Like, I feel like I operate on a slightly different frequency than everyone else, not in some cool or mysterious fucking alpha wolf way, but just in a weird or slightly different way. I hope who's ever listening can relate to that, and if you don't feel left out, it's fine. But it might be why I like the internet so much, right? And partially why I ended up starting this channel. Because for every strange thought or question you've ever had, there's probably some dude on Quora or Reddit who had the exact same question back in 2012. For everything you've ever felt alone in, there's probably thousands of people out there feeling the exact same way. You just haven't met them yet. That's what the internet is for though, to connect people. Granted, there's a lot of bad people that use it for harm, but that's far from the community that I'm trying to build at least. I guess maybe that's what this channel's about, building a community. It's not really to gain huge views or millions of subscribers. I'm no Mr. Beast, I never will be, but you never know, I guess. Either way, it's to have some form of connection. The hope is that I will find people who understand what I'm trying to say and who hear my words and think, yeah, I get that. Because honestly, that'd be pretty awesome. This video could get 9 views or 9,000 or more, I really don't know. And not to sound self-centered, but the whole point is that I made it. I don't mean I made it as in success. I mean I made it as in I, turned on my microphone and my computer and I hit record. I stopped overthinking and I just executed the plan. This video might turn out like garbage, as I said, the stupid quality, and it'll probably get like 4 views, like I said, but at least I put something out there. And, that's really the whole point. I just want people to try. Because I've fallen into the trap a million times before too, of just procrastination and worrying about judgment and all that negative stuff. And the whole point is just to get out there and try something if you really want to. In this case for me, it's this channel, like I said. It could be a whole list of other things for you though, because I know people are just doing whatever nowadays. Sometimes it's as small as a school project, or it could be something as big as starting a business. But back to the community bit really quick. I think if at least one person watches this and, is interested by it or feels a little more inspired because of it or something, then I'd say the effort counted, A final note, sorta kinda. This is the first video on this channel of many to come. I know I just talked about like an audience and building community and stuff like that, but as I'm recording this, I'm kind of just realizing that there is nobody here. This video is going to be published to a channel with 0 subscribers, 0 views, 0 anything, which is kind of a weird feeling, to be honest. It's like talking into the void and hoping the void talks back, but maybe that's just how every community starts. I think most, not all, but most creators start by talking to literally nobody, which I guess is exactly what I'm doing. And, I'm not going to leave this video off on some note about how people might find it in a decade in the future. I didn't say that correctly. But we all know that's not how it's going to go. Either way, I'm just glad I made the video. Like I said, it might get 9 views or 9,000. We'll see how the algorithm treats me. YouTube works in strange ways. But I think this video is kind of funny, actually, because as of right now, the second you're hearing this, the second I'm recording this, I have spent more time thinking about making videos than actually making them. Like, not to say I was afraid to make one, but I definitely procrastinated a lot. I pronounced that word weird as shit. Either way, that ties basically directly into the topic of this video. It's the effort that counts, but more importantly, why not try? And maybe that's part of the lesson in the end. Why not try? It's not that effort guarantees everything, not that everything's going to work out, but sometimes you just have to stop thinking and start doing. But final note for real though, because I know I rambled on for a bit there. If you were genuinely entertained by this and watched this long, first of all, that's kind of insane. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe or anything. I just want to say thank you. And if any of what I made, holy shit. If any of what I said made sense to you, consider sticking around. And like I said, this is my first video on this channel. People might find it later down the line, and it'll be their 10th video of mine they've seen, and there's really no way of telling. The point is, I have a lot of ideas and stuff I want to share, so I apologize if this video is two things, and then I'm done. 1, I apologize if it's low quality. Like I said, I genuinely tried my hardest to get my settings dialed in for recording, but YouTube just compresses the ever-living shit out of the video file and makes it look like trash. And for some reason, it makes it look like there's lag spikes in my game. I said that weird. It makes it look like there's lag spikes in my game, even when there isn't. Don't know why it does that. I apologize. But second thing, and then I promise we're done. I apologize for the lack of substance. Like, I don't fully script every video. I'll be truthfully honest here. I just kind of improvise at least a small portion of it. So I apologize if the information part is shorter than this ending bit. I know the ending bit has been long as hell. I only do these in like 1 or 2 takes with pretty minimal editing. So you're going to hear me stuttering, excessively cursing, stumbling over words, as I've done many times in this video. You're going to hear me repeating stuff, but I promise that'll probably change with time, right? I'm just saying all this extra stuff because it's my first video, and if it does happen to get a lot of traction, if the algorithm decides to treat me to like 100,000 views, which would be insane, I think people might appreciate knowing what they're actually going to be in for. But that's really about it. Thank you for watching. Good night.